Happy New Year and welcome back to ChinaX. The second mini course is just launched, and this is the office hours for the first module. And we have some questions that have come up, and I'm here with Megan Morrissey, who's the producer for ChinaX this year. And Megan, one of the things people have asked is, how long will the first mini course be open? And the second question is about their certificates. When are they going to get them? And so on.
So the first mini course and all subsequent mini courses will remain open until the last mini course concludes.
Okay.
So you can come in and out, you can do the assessments at any point in time. You just have to do it before the last one closes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, so we're giving people a lot of leeway here.
Yes, and we want them to go back and go more in depth in what they're interested in.
Because eventually we'll be revising the modules that they've already seen.
And
right?
taking their feedback and going
Indeed.
and trying to improve.
Okay.
And then also with the assessments, you finished by December 23rd, you should have received a certificate on the platform. If you finished the assessments after December 23rd, you will receive the certificate at a later date.
Oh.
And more to come about that on the platform and in the email.
So I have some news for Megan. We have a Harvard grad in computer science, actually, who now lives in Beijing. He goes by the Chinese name of Shitao. And he's been producing translations of the first modules, and they are extraordinarily good. And Shitao, we're really, really grateful. You have them now?
I do, yes.
And what are you going to do with them?
We're going to compile them all, and we're going to be releasing them to all of you in the coming weeks.
And so they'll be visible on the screen, right?
Exactly.
With the first, all the modules,
in the first
mini
part.
course. That's great. And thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Another piece of news, during the fall of 2013, we taped Harvard students discussing many of the questions we're discussing in the forums. We've given you the tapes, and you have a plan to use them.
Yeah, you can see what it's like in a college classroom and how it's discussed. So another kind of fun activity that we're trying to incorporate, and we did that with the Cosmic residents.
And all the students actually signed releases and gave us permission to show this, right?
Yes.
I gather you have a new frequently asked question.
Right, so we're trying to address all the questions that are coming in through the platform. We appreciate all of your feedback, and we're trying to make those improvements, so keep that coming, and we'll address them as quickly as possible.
Now, the last piece of news is Dave Pomerantz from Marshfield, Massachusetts, had been following the first mini course, and he sent us, I guess, a couple weeks ago, 47 pages of notes outline on all the first modules. And we're going to make it available to people?
Absolutely. It's incredibly comprehensive and impressive.
Grateful thanks for Bill Kirby and myself and from the whole ChinaX team. So I think that's it.
We also had the survey results.
Oh yes, we have survey results.
Right.
So we had an extraordinary response to the survey. Thousands of people responding, and enough data so that we actually have some really solid conclusions. We're going to post the aggregate data online for you to see how you responded versus other people.
It was overall very positive, and I think the most important part for us is the improvement section at the end. I couldn't agree more. Optional readings and learning resources.
So I really need to get on that. So my apologies. It's been very, very busy, but I actually can do that, and I will.
And we'll get Bill Kirby too for the modern part. And then we have, every week we're going to try to address any confusion with discussion forums or assessments, certificates. And again, if there's anything that needs to be clarified, keep that coming with questions in the platform. Then we also had the fun activities, the Dynasty
song and drawing the Cosmic Resonance chart this week. Yeah. So send us suggestions. I've lost my creativity, so I can't help you. Okay, Megan, thanks so much, and thank the ChinaX team for all you're doing. This has just been really great.
Thank you.
Okay. In a moment, we're going to come back to the discussion forum this week with Yuwen. I'm here now with Yuwen, who fortuitously is able to help with this office hour as Bill Kirby is traveling. And one of the things we ask our ChinaXers for is New Year's resolutions.
Mm-hmm.
some people want to go to China. I think it's a great resolution.
And someone wants to learn Mandarin.
I think that's even better resolution. Did you make any New Year's resolutions?
Finish my dissertation.
Best thing of all. Right? Stay calm, finish your dissertation.
And learn how to drive.
And learn how to drive. Okay, yeah. So I wanted though I thought we could have a discussion of the discussion forum. We'll put that aside. The question that we asked this week had to do with the Qin dynasty and the use of cosmic resonance theory.
Yes.
And we've given them a lot of material on that.
Yeah.
And so we asked people to discuss what's the point of cosmic resonance theory, and we sort of set up a problem. Is this about politics? Is it about the natural world? Is it justified to call this science? And
let's begin with the first part
about politics. Okay.
Yeah. So I think most of the learners agree that the point of the cosmic resonance theory is about politics, and because it is trying to justify the role of the emperor and the political role and its role in the whole universe, and to put the emperor in the center at the same time to justify the political power
of the emperor. But I mean, couldn't we have said the same thing about the Zhou dynasty? Actually, I saw that somebody brought this up. They said, what's the connection to the Zhou dynasty's mandate of heaven?
Yes, interesting. Many of the online learners discovered a difference between the Zhou ideas of heaven and the cosmic resonance theories, ideas about heaven. I think they noticed that, for instance, that in the cosmic resonance theory, the ruler tried to demonstrate the validity of his role by not only claiming themselves the son of heaven, but also following the way of heaven.
So what do we mean by the way of heaven?
The way of the heaven means the regularities of the nature.
The regularities of nature?
Yes.
Okay. And what kind of regularities are those?
The regularities of how the qi, the material force,
circulates
over the year, and how the other part of the natural world or natural environment got involved in this regularities
in the cycles
of the nature.
Okay, so the point then would seem to be that for the Zhou dynasty, heaven looks down and makes choices.
Yes, there is a sense of agency there.
But in this view of the way of heaven, there are no choices. Heaven just works the way it works.
Exactly.
And you want to understand that.
Yes.
I guess that brings us to the next question, right?
Yeah.
About science.
Yes.
ChinaXers were pretty ambivalent about this. I think by and large that they don't buy that this is science. But they do make some points. First of all, it's an attempt to be holistic and to try to take all data into account, to sort of a unified field theory with an interest in correlating different cycles and different elements. Somebody brought up quantum physics. I'm not sure I understand what that would have involved, but still, it's somebody else brought up the idea of ecosystems, right? That cosmic resonance theory really takes ecosystems into account. But people had their doubts too, didn't they?
Our online learners do see similarities between this theory and science. I think perhaps because both of the theory and the science look into the natural world, try to find the natural principles that regulate how the nature works.
How nature works.
How nature works. But our students also point out that it is not really scientific because it doesn't involve experimentation. And experimentation is considered as the most important feature of science.
Why does experimentation matter?
It can challenge the current theory by incorporating different data into analysis.
And that does seem to me is one of the great weaknesses of cosmic resonance theory, is that it sort of fits everything into it, but it doesn't challenge itself. It can't be challenged from within. Right. Okay, that's a good point.
So that's why one of our students mentioned that it's almost like a religion and a science all.
Oh, that's SBDK1 who says that, and that actually strikes me as being really to the point, that it is politics, religion, and observation of the natural world all rolled into one system. We had some cool drawings. J.M. Worsley did a whole diagram of the chapter from the monthly ordinances that in Chinese. That's really great. There's some other examples as well, and I believe Liu Junjie, our head of technology, is going to be putting them on the website, and you could have seen them on the discussion forums too, I believe.
Yeah, we see people visualize the monthly ordinance in very different ways.
Yeah, and Sparks Will Fly, who's helped out before, has done a nice word cloud as well. But I want to sum up with a few comments of this, because it seems to me that one of the things that we want to take away from cosmic resonance theory in the Qin, but also, as we'll see this coming week in the Han Dynasty, is that there's this desire to cross the boundary between the natural world as something that's real and constant, and human society, and the organization of human society, which has its ups and downs, which goes through war and terrible self-destruction, trying to regularize the human world through government. That nature is sort of real, it provides a real foundation. But the other thing that strikes me about this is that it makes humans responsible. Right? Nature actually isn't a perfectly regular thing. There are earthquakes, there is bad weather, there are droughts.
How do we explain
and
this
and we explain it today in the way we explain it, but what they're doing is basically saying people with power are responsible. So the empire is given more power. The imperial system is given more power to the center, more power to the emperor.
But also they're given more responsibilities.
Right, and liable for more mistakes. The other part of that, I guess, is if we regard the sort of the Zhou system as sort of a confederation of feudal aristocrats, we're really moving to something very different now. The idea of an organized system. Nature is an organized system, and so is government. And individual arbitrary views and whim don't matter as much anymore. But that is all about empire. And remember, the Qin didn't last. And so this week, in the next module, we'll actually be talking about how it came about that a centralized empire could be made to last when we talk about the Han Dynasty.
The Han Dynasty.
Yuan, thank you very much for joining us. And I know you're going off to finish your dissertation in Taiwan, so best of luck and best wishes from all of us.
Thank you very much. And Happy New Year again.
Happy New Year, everybody.